Hello, this is Robert. Welcome to our watercolor class today. Today it's a wonderful spring, summerish day out today. And it's a nice day to paint a nice bumblebee. So today we're going to do a bumblebee. This is one that I did previously, but we're going to do ours a little bit different today. But this gives you an idea of the direction that we're going. It's going to be nice, loose, and free. And I welcome you here. Let me set my guy down here. This is a list of the kind of the supplies that we're going to use today. This is a step-by-step process. We're going to use 140 weight or pound Strathmore paper, cold press. We're going to use the round brushes, probably 6 and 8, maybe flat brush, a liner or a rigger brush. The colors that we're going to be using will basically be sepia, yellow, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, alizarin red, or violet, or cadmium red or alizarin red, maybe a little bit of violet. It's nice to have that in bees. And we're going to just establish some washes. We're going to put some layers on this bumblebee, and we're going to use our rigger and liner brush just to kind of soften some things up and create some hairs and strands on the bumblebee. We're going to our first step that we're going to use, we're going to sketch the bumblebee. We're going to wet the body of the bumblebee almost stripe by stripe, then apply some sepia for one of the stripes and some cad yellow, a little bit of violet in there. We're going to create a vein pattern in the wings, and then we're going to lightly go over the wings to indicate some transparency. We're going to use some nice liner brush to apply some details to the legs and the antenna. So let me take this one down. And I have started on this one here. This is the bumblebee that we'll be doing today. I basically put in the background just to save us a little bit of time. I put a little bit of violet, a little bit of crimson with the violet. I wetted the paper first, put a nice even coat of water on it, gave it about 2 minutes to soak in, and just applied some nice coats, light coats of cad or cad red, along with a little bit of violet, and that just gives us a background. It kind of seals in our bee, so we can just kind of concentrate on that bumblebee, the body, and we don't have to worry about the background as much. So the first thing that I've done here is I'm going to just start with the yellow part of the body. So I'm going to start with just getting some wet under here, under the couple of sections. This will be yellow, this will be yellow. It's giving you a little bit of time to soak in. Then I'm going to start dropping in some values, some colors. This will be our first color, and this is a cad yellow. Come up in the top here. This section will also be some cad yellow. Now before that dries, I'm going to take a little bit of red and go on each side of our bee. Just to get that to, since it's a little bit wet, it will blend in with our yellow, makes a little bit of an orange. I'll come down here a little bit. Then I'm going to wet the middle part of this bee tummy type area, and then below this other stripe. And just a little bit of time for the water to sink in. And while I'm doing that, and giving it a little bit of time, I think I'll come back with my liner rigger brush. And I'm just going to start a little bit in the wings, a little bit of a design pattern in here, so because I want it to dry. So I'm just going to lightly suggest some veins in his wing, because I'm going to want that to dry up before I put a wash over it. Okay. So this should dry up nicely by the time we get the body done. We'll be able to drop in a light wash over it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my sepia and I'm going to start the body again, the dark part. So I come down to the bottom section here. So I'm using a number 8 brush, round brush, just dropping in some values. Work on this eye. I'm reinforcing the value in that body. I'll reinforce the yellows. Just less water, a little bit stronger color. That's my CAD red again. I'll soften this with a little bit more water. I'm going to lift a little bit of white out by just a dry brush. Just lifting a little bit of color out. Now I'm going to put a nice light tint over the wings, almost a translucent color. I start with a little bit of dark on the upper portion to outline it. Then I pull that color down with clear water, lead it into it. Now I'll come over back to his head area. I've got a dark on here. And I just shape that head. I'm going to come down into his leg area and just build a couple very squiggly legs. And then we'll do his behind legs. A little bit of red at the end of this. We'll put his antennas on. Reinforce his eye. We'll continue building his body. We'll put a little more dark values in here. This is where you can add some purples if you desire. Pull it down with some clear water. Come back with some more stronger value of yellow. A bit of red. Then we'll let that dry a tiny bit, and we'll start down and just build something on this flower section. Yellow would be a good flower color for this too if you wish to use yellow instead of purple, violet. Just indicating some nice petal shapes. Drop this nice stem down. Pull the color out, let it bleed a little bit. That'll get us a nice soft edge. Then I'll come back into my bee. I'll come into the head area. Just drop, again, some stronger values in here. Pulled out some clear water. I'm going to take now a dryer brush and letting it set just a moment. And I'm just going to indicate a little bit of, pull out a little bit of her fuzzy fur legs. So just pull some, make a little bit fuzzy at the end, indicating some nice fine values. Fur. Yeah, just makes him a little more fuzzy. Bees are very fuzzy. Another tint of value in his lower section. He's got a little bit of a stinger in here too. Reinforce that eye area. Just another clear water. on this flower just a little bit. This is just a nice liner brush. Just allows us to put some nice, fine, furry, fuzzy hairs around his legs, his torso. I can come back and reinforce some of this pattern in his wings. And a few darks. Okay, just a few more final touches. This is where you could stand back and just take a quick little peek at it and see if there's anything else that you'd like to add to it. Just keep going. Just building some values up into it. You could always come back if you wanted to in his eye and just scratch in another little touch. And maybe just a little bit more background values. Just for interest. And a few more touches to soften it. And I think that's kind of a nice, loose rendering. Bumblebee. So now you just come back, come to the corner here, just sign your name. Stand back, see if there's anything else you want to add to it. Sometimes this is a nice point where if you wished, you could do a tiny splattering, which is kind of fun to do. I do that quite a bit. So you might come back with a stencil brush or a toothbrush, works nice, and just flick a little bit of splatter into your painting. Just adds a little bit more to it. You don't want to overdo. And there you have it. That's a nice, soft bumblebee. Hopefully that one doesn't get into your yard or get on you. But thank you for watching this video. Hope to have you look at our other ones. We'll have another one next Wednesday or Thursday. Thanks again, and we will see you then.